Welcome to Lawrence Inkwell, and today we're going to talk about a critically important aspect of writing in any medium: character development. An essential skill required of any writer, it's important to understand why this matters. A story is first and foremost a journey. It's the tale of how your main characters get from point A to point B. Now, if we didn't care about the stuff in the middle, we wouldn't need character development, but the widely recognized three-act structure is defined as beginning, middle, and end. Without the middle to connect them, you're left with two incongruous pieces that don't fit together. Think of it like you're building a slide between two buildings of differing heights. The character development is the ramp between them. Without it, it's not likely you'd make it from one to the other without problems. Character development serves the same purpose for your story. A good narrative will not leave your characters and world in the same place where they started. While this can be the case with more episodic storytelling, in general, even within the episode, things have changed from start to finish. Think back to my earlier statements about Newton's laws of motion. Your main character is living his life happily until something comes along to disturb the status quo. Stirred to act, he sets out on his epic journey. Stories are about change, which is an essential process to how the world works. Even if you sit at home and do nothing, change is happening all around you. Just like the world outside your story, people grow, learn, and change as they proceed through life. Some learn faster than others, some never do. Your characters should be no different. While their world is probably not the same as yours, and they may deal with a completely alien set of problems, either way, everything they see and do affects the world around them. Once you know who your main character is, what the setting is like, and what the conflict is, you can start thinking about what sort of journey they'll undertake. As the central character, they're the one we'll be spending the most time with, and whose journey we'll be following. That being the case, they need room for growth. You want your character to be able to evolve. There are a lot of ways that one can go about character development. Maybe the character is seeking redemption or running from something in their past. Perhaps a new element in their life has thrown their world into chaos. Maybe they're seeking revenge or someone to call their own. Whatever it is, it should be about their efforts to go from a less favorable scenario back to a more favorable one, at least in their own mind. Note that this does not have to mean a happy ending. Even if, when all is said and done, the protagonist fails to achieve his goal, the point is he cannot be the same person by the time the story ends. Now, a good part of character development is emotional growth. Whether it's a relationship with another character or them learning something new about themselves, it's important to alter their worldview at least a little bit. I know whenever I've come to any major realizations, it didn't just go away. It was something I absorbed into how I viewed the world, or I changed my behavior to suit what I learned so that I could keep moving forward. While I'm on the subject, another aspect of character evolution is that it's permanent. Whatever changes to his mindset or behavior result from the events of the story, they have to stay that way. Learning doesn't work if you just disregard the lessons after class. Whenever you discover something that changes you, it alters your perception of the world around you and will continue to do so. People and characters are constantly learning, and every time it produces something a little bit different. Imagine it like pouring sand into a jar. Now pour it into another jar. Will the grains be in the same arrangement? More than likely, they will never be the same from one jar to the next. It's the same pieces, but they're in a different configuration. Even if you don't know what direction they're headed, sometimes that works, as most of the time we don't know where we're going either. When I start a new story project, I know who the characters will be and what the conflict is, but with rare exception, I don't know where it'll end until I've planned out the rest of the story. Sometimes storylines get moved, or characters end up in different places than I thought. Character development has a great deal of influence on what takes place in each chapter. If you have a good grasp on your main cast, all you have to do is follow them forward and see what opportunities they present to you. A lot of life and writing is trial and error. You try different things and see what works. While most people may only care about the end result, without trying things, you would likely have never reached a conclusion that allowed you to solve the problem. Experimentation may not always yield concrete results, but it will teach you to look twice at a problem and sometimes reach a solution you didn't even realize was an option. Character development is a constant and ever-occurring process. If you're doing it right, your characters will become much more compelling, and it can only help you in your storytelling. Remember, they're always moving forward. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in Part 7, World Building.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. You can also find me on Twitter and a few other places on the web, or support me via Patreon or Ko-fi. Zebra hugs!